Welcome to Biology Made Easy. In this lesson, we are going to explain the diffusion process. Welcome. Well, we have this water here. This dye is dropped into the water. Notice that the water molecules are moving and the dye is also moving into the water. So the dye molecules are randomly moving into here. We could see the dye molecules moving and mixing with the water molecules, which are also moving about. Finally, we have a solution which is homogeneous. Now, here is water, here is the dye. We have water molecules, we have dye molecules. Well, at the beginning that the dye is dropped in here, there's plenty of dye here. It's going to move and disperse, and there's random moving of dye molecules. There's at the same time random moving of water molecules. You can see the net movement of the dye is from where it's highly concentrated and moving into areas that is less concentrated. That is diffusion. Highly concentrated area, molecules moving to where it's less concentrated. And so we have a net movement from this region into other regions. That is diffusion. Well, at a point, movement of water molecules, movement of dye molecules, all moving, and you have a homogeneous solution. So we know how diffusion is operating, but then let us try and define it. Simply, so is the random movement in which the net movement of molecules is from regions of high concentration to regions of lower concentration. That is diffusion. You can also say that it's movement along a concentration gradient. We saw this when we discussed concentration gradient. So it's just here is more concentrated, and the molecules will just move down, slope to areas where the concentration is small. That is diffusion, net movement of molecules from regions of high concentration to regions of lower concentration. Now, let us note that when a homogeneous mixture is formed, then there's no net movement, so there's no diffusion, right? So in this one here, there's no diffusion, there's no net movement of molecules in any direction. So we have a dynamic equilibrium because the molecules will still be moving, no net movement, no diffusion. We have a dynamic equilibrium. We also want to note that diffusion is faster in gases, slower in liquid media, but is absent inside solid. So we'll meet in our next lesson. Thank you very much and goodbye.